I call to order this meeting of the Warren County School Board for Tuesday, November the 19th. The first item on the agenda is to accept or modify the agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chairman, I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I'd move to the consent agenda
To accept the consent?
to accept it. Yeah, what's that?
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Action agenda. Award contract to Lantz Construction Company of Winchester Incorporated for renovation of AS Rhodes Elementary School. Mrs. Shepherd.
Thank you. On September 19, 2019, Warren County Public Schools received one bid for the renovation of AS Rhodes Elementary School from Lantz Construction Company of Winchester for $5,264,800. The project consisted of a base bid and 13 alternates. The base bid includes creating a secure front entrance to the building, moving the office to the front of the building, making the restrooms ADA compliant, new floors, new ceilings, and ductwork for the HVAC units. The alternates for this project include replacing the flat roof system, providing casework, reconstructing the columns on the front of the building, and providing and installing 6 HVAC units. Attached is the bid tabulation sheet, which includes LCW's bid prices for the base bid and the alternates. We currently have $3,517,219.30 available for the renovations of AS Rhodes Elementary Schools. $2,274,416.10 available from the Warren County Middle School project. $119,915.26 available from the WCPS Capital Improvement Fund, and $1,122,887.94 available from Warren County Capital Funding. These funds are available to complete the work included in the base bid of the renovation project and to temporarily place modular classrooms on the property to be used as classroom space. LCW's original cost for the base bid was $3,388,800. We have worked with LCW to value engineer the base bid and have negotiated a cost of $3,096,300. The recommendation is to award the contract to Lantz Construction Company of Winchester in the amount of $3,096,300. Some additional information that I did not have when I did the cover sheet was that the Board of Supervisors is going to consider tonight giving us an additional $629,191, which was the money that would be saved from the refunding or refinancing of the bonds for the AS Rhodes renovation project. So I'm excited about that. I'm going down to the Board of Supervisors meeting at 7 o'clock in case they have any questions. So that that amount of money will, we would be able to do the HVAC units for AS Rhodes Elementary School as well. At the same time, yes, yes, during the renovation, absolutely. It is.
What do you think the lifespan of the current flat roof is? What's left of it? Anybody?
So I'm going to defer to Greg Livesey.
Based on the information that I have, less than 10 years on that flat roof.
Okay.
So I have some a plan for the flat roof, the casework, and the replacing the windows. We are going to have a carryover funds from last year available, and I'm hoping that the Board of Supervisors will refund us that money so that we're able to do those 3 pieces, and then we'll have a full renovation project. So that's my plan.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I don't have any issue, but I just,
Yeah.
you know, I just worry about doing a remodel and roof.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just,
So those are the 3 items that are
Behind.
kind of left, and
Right.
those are the ones
Yeah.
that I would like to include.
and those prices for the HVAC, that was for LCW,
Right,
buying and installing.
that's
not us
correct.
Fine.
sourcing and installing.
Right, so I think the plan, if we get the $629,191, is that we would purchase the equipment ourselves and maybe contract with Lantz LCW to put those on the facility, so they can do the connections because they're already familiar with what
Right.
they've already done,
Yeah.
so.
Has it been discussed with
Yes.
them that,
It has,
okay, and
yes,
they're okay with it?
yes.
Because it really would be nice to, I mean, you run the ductwork and you got your roof cuts. You could get rid of the old heating system and have a new heating system, other than the new roof and the windows. Well, it's got 3/4 of the new roof anyway.
Right, and having the construction contractor do that, then they're responsible for all of
Yes.
that. So you're making one phone call instead of 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And there's no fingers pointing at each other
Yeah.
saying you didn't do it or you didn't do it. So
Yeah.
that's, that's the plan.
That's worth a lot.
In the past, we've done real well with change orders too.
We have, and we're going to continue that.
We can't-
Yeah.
It helps to pick up some of that.
Yeah, I looked at Warren County Middle Schools the other day, and I think we were at like 2.3%, which is really great.
That's not
It's a
bad.
good number, yeah.
Yeah.
You can find some things,
That size of project, that's
yeah.
very significant. Quite a
So we will have, hopefully, after Board of Supervisors, we can pull this off. Good deal, thank you for your work.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
It's
You
exciting.
took them down $300,000.
It's exciting, yeah.
Which you did, so that's significant.
They work well with us in
They
the
have,
past.
they're great partners. LCW's great partners.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make it. Madam Chair, I move approval be given to award the AS Rhodes renovation project to Lantz Construction Company of Winchester in the amount of $3,096,300. And Melody A. Shepherd, Assistant Superintendent, be authorized to sign the contract.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries,
Thank you.
Award contract to Modular Genius of Jofa, Maryland for temporary modular classroom space for the AS Rhodes renovations. Mr. Livesay.
Okay, thank you. Yes, as a follow-up to the construction contract with Lantz, October 11th of this year, we received 4 proposals to provide and erect 4 modular classrooms as part of the Rhodes renovation. The temporary classrooms are needed to create, as you know, that necessary swing space or empty space within the main school building that will allow the GC to perform the renovations in 2 phases as opposed to 5 phases, which we originally were looking at the beginning of this project. The modular classrooms will be located on the asphalt play court adjacent to the multi-purpose building, gymnasium building. All 4 classrooms will be under one roof with fully compliant steps and ramps for access. Based on the construction schedule, the temporary classrooms would be needed for a period of 6 months, and that's the lease term, and will be removed before the beginning of the next school year. Now, with the execution of this contract, I want to add to that we're looking probably at the earliest, the first week of January for delivery of the classrooms. And then they still have to be put together. Necessary power pulled to them, etc.
How long do you think that will take?
Right now, we're looking at the end of the month, so not quite a full month to get the necessary services in there.
Is that pretty average?
You know, I would say for 4 classrooms, that's probably so. We have to bring total new electric service into the site because the gymnasium building doesn't have the capacity for us to tap into that. And Tim Grant's working on the low voltage side of the data, the phones, and then we still got the fire alarm to pull in there also.
So the town's okayed everything for us now?
Have not, we, again, it's still the major site plan,
Okay.
as we discussed originally at the last
Right.
meeting. The survey required for the full site plan is underway as we speak. We're probably 2 weeks away from getting that, and that full site plan is part of the requirement for the town of Front Royal for this major site plan.
And then you'll know if you need to get footers?
We're going to go ahead and submit it with the ABS pads on top of the asphalt. We did find out just late last week that the proposed modular units were going to be encroaching into the front building setback from the road. Well, the asphalt play court already encroaches on that setback. as we stand today. So we're going to have to also require a variance request from the town for the, to be in that setback, that front building setback. So,
It's not a big deal, is it?
I really don't know how to answer that, not having the experience with the town of Front Royal. I wouldn't think it would be, especially since that asphalt play court is already there.
And been there forever.
It's been there forever.
And they have to take the average, if I remember correctly, of the setbacks of different buildings to make it a stipulation.
Yeah.
So I just don't think the town would be
It would
in
be,
disagreement since it's temporary.
yeah, it would be my hope that we could get final approval from the town before the Christmas holidays.
And the 6 months keeps us within the temporary.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
By regulation.
By regulating, as far as the temporary structure.
No, if we're going 6 months, it's considered temporary.
For the town.
It still is vulnerable though. It's, I hope they, look at that and, let's get along, guys. That could hurt us, what, about 100,000?
What, as far as?
Well, if we, these footers,
No.
The footers were an additional 20,000 if they require the
Yeah.
permanent footers.
no, still.
It's still a hefty price.
You got footers and you have to repair the board. It's a lot more than 20.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
just have to wait and see what they,
see what they do. Madam Chair, I move approval be given to award the AS Rhodes temporary modular classroom project to Modular Genesis of Joppa, Maryland, in the amount of $102,226, and the chairman of the school board be authorized to sign the contract.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Revision to school board policy GAA, Mr. Smith.
Okay. In July 2014, two revisions were made and accepted by the Warren County School Board to policy GAA, which is staff time schedules. The first revision inside that policy defined the work week for the school district employees as 12:01 a.m. Monday through Sunday midnight. The second revision was the amount of maximum comp time for non-exempt employees could accrue before they would be paid overtime pay. The revision was changed from 240 to a more practical number of 40. So that policy was in effect. It allows us to change that. We did that 2014, and that became our practice. Now we're going to roll forward to 2019 of February. The VSBA released the GAA policy, and in May we approved that policy. But there was an update to that policy. It was simply a legal note that was at the very bottom. So the policy was approved. However, when we approved that and placed that into policy, those two revisions that we had made in 2014 were inadvertently overlooked. So then now we go back to the policy before, and that policy allows the flexibility for the school divisions to define their work week by day and time, and it also allows them to define the number of comp time hours for non-exempt employees. So our request, since our practice has been, and it does affect us if we revert back to what we once were, our request is to revise the active policy back to define the work week as 12:01 a.m. Monday through midnight on Sunday, and in addition go from the maximum amount that you can have to the state back to 40. So really what ended up happening was we approved a policy, and then when we revised it, once something came out in 2019, we overlooked what we had actually done in 2014, approved it, and then without changing back what we had made with the revision. So that's
This is basically a correction.
Yeah, just a correction.
Okay. Any questions or discussion?
Madam Chairman, I would move that the Warren County School Board revise policy GAA as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We now need to go into closed session. Is there a motion?
This motion is made that this open public meeting of the Warren County School Board become a closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code Section 222-3711. The school board desires to discuss the following matter of a closed meeting. Section 2.2-37111A29. Discussion of the award of public contract involving the expenditure of public funds,
Just the essential concept.
including interviews of bidders or offerers, and discussion of the terms of scope of such contract where the discussion in open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body, specifically evaluation of proposals from superintendent search consulting firms.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Valentine, please call roll.
Madam Chair,
Aye.
Mr. Rosen,
Aye.
Mr. Wells,
Aye.
and Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are in closed session.
To the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies. And two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, and considered by the school board.
Second.
Mr. Valentine, please call roll.
Mr. Williams,
Aye.
Mr. Wells,
Aye.
Mr. Rosen,
Aye.
Madam Chair.
Aye. Motion carries. We are out of closed session. Is there any further business?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay, meeting adjourned.